This is disgusting.
You're live. Welcome to She Said We Said podcast. I am Kat.
And I'm Candy.
We are live tonight and we have a special guest. I will let him introduce himself, but I would like you to meet our special guest, Mr. Devin Peal. Devin, take it
Yeah.
away.
All right, cuz. So anyway, yeah, Devin Peal, and I am from Richmond, California. Uh, Grew up right off of Cutting Boulevard on 19th Street on the South Side. Went to Adams Middle School. Well, let's not skip elementary. I went to Harding Elementary in El Cerrito. Then went to Adams for middle school. Then graduated from JFK. So,
Kennedy?
I absolutely
JFK Kennedy? Oh, okay.
Yep. Eagle. Eagle. What else would you like to know? I am now employed as a financial advisor. I've been doing that for eight years. I've been in the financial industry now for about 14 years. Was able to graduate from Humboldt State, now Cal Poly Humboldt, which it takes some time getting used to say. Graduated from there in 2007. Went overseas, played basketball for 3 years, came back and went straight back into finance. So I've been working in finance now for 13 or 14 years. So living in Humboldt County, Eureka to be specific. And I am Kat's cousin. We love her dearly, and I'm here to discuss some hot topics. So I'm a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan from Richmond, California too. That's crazy.
Oh God, yeah.
On the record. So that's me.
You have to put that on the record. Our family, we are I have a mixture. We have 49er fans, we have Kansas City Chief fans. We have
any Cowboy fans?
Of course. And we have one Cleveland Brown fan. We have a Cleveland Brown fan. So
you didn't say the Raiders. You gotta put the Raiders.
I said it real low, The Raiders are in the house. They rowdy in this family, but we are a sports family.
Mm-hmm.
We love sports.
I love my Chiefs, but I love football. So I got a player or two that I watch on every team. So,
oh wow.
Yeah.
So I would like to jump right in, if you guys don't mind. So you're a young man from Richmond, California. You're in finance. First of all, what made you decide to even go into finance?
When I graduated college, the first job I took was a teller at Wells Fargo. And I didn't know what to expect from that. I had known the manager for a few years while I was in school. And she was like, look, she knew I was trying to go play ball either in the D League, NBA, or overseas. She was like, man, I can get you in the door. I can get you a paycheck. I went and learned how to be a teller, how to manage money. And then right after that, I went over. I worked at Wells Fargo for about 6 months, got called. It had to be gone in 2 days. So it was a good job for me. It was a good thing to work in a bank in that position at that time. But as soon as I got back from playing ball, I remember something one of my cousins told me. Just like, you just going to be in some type of white collar space or something like that. And I didn't know much about work. I needed to get something fast when I came home because we were pregnant, getting ready to have our first child. So I went back to what I knew, which was money. So I went right on over to JP Morgan and got a job there, became a banker, and then worked my way up, got licensed, got this, got that. Now I'm a financial advisor. So I had to figure out what I liked about that job. And then it was like, well, why do you have this money sitting here? What's important to you? How do you spend your money? So I had to figure out what type of conversations I was interested in. And then I just navigated a path to where I'm at now.
Okay. So you like where you are? You like what you do now?
I love what I do right now.
You love what you do. Okay. Nice. So how was your growing up? Like, we're all from Richmond, California. I grew up not so wealthy, right? Got clothes from the mission, toys from the mission. The struggle was real. I don't know what your background is. So what was your upbringing? Because my question that I'm leading into is, if you, depending on your upbringing, how did that correlate to your finance and the job that you're in now from where you grew up? Was it already something that established, or was it just hard knock
That's a good
life like the
question.
rest of us?
Nah. I saw what I saw. Like we're from Richmond, things go on. I saw what I saw, but I played ball. I got good grades, and I was in the girls. That was it. And I
Okay.
had two or three good friends that was cool with my family. And if I was out, I was with them. If I wasn't, with some of my cousins. So my experience I wasn't out in the streets doing none of that. Unfortunately, some of the people that I knew growing up was into that, but I don't know. My family parented by committee. I had my mom who raised me, may bless her heart, and then my grandmother lived directly next door to me, right? And
Ooh.
so I had a male figure in the house, my uncle Stevie, and nobody that I knew in that family did banking except for maybe Reggie. Reggie did it for a little bit, our cousin Reggie. But it was more so about what I saw my mom do. She got up and went to work every single day. You know, her and my grandmama provided for both of the houses. So, I got cousins, all my cousins work, all my aunties work, so it was like I saw when you got done chasing your hoop dreams, and it's like you got responsibilities, go ahead and get your money. So I wasn't influenced by much, and then the people that were influenced by those things pretty much left me alone. They knew what I was about, so it was easy for me go to school, get good grades, play ball, and have a girlfriend or friends.
I was playing ball. How was that experience? You said you were overseas, right?
But yeah, so I was overseas at 22. So I'm a
Ooh.
kid from Richmond, California. I love to think about this in my old age now. So I'm a kid
Wait, Devin.
in my old
Tell
age.
in your old age, how old are you?
I'm 39.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If you don't get off my line,
And
did
how
he
tall
just
are
say
you?
old age?
At my old age,
Oh,
If you don't stop.
my knees and ankles tell me I'm about 49, 50. Uh,
I think that's just a tall person thing.
I'm not that tall. I'm not that tall. I'm
How
walking
tall are you?
around. I might be tall, but I play basketball now. Mind you, I was one of the smallest people on the court. I'm only 6'4", right? So just walking around daily life or whatever, I might be above average height for a male. But y'all had Brownie on here, so he's tall. He got me by like 2 or 3 inches in
Is he that
height.
tall? He didn't seem that tall. Is he like 6'6"? 6'7"?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brownie's
yeah.
tall, but it's weird
Really?
because Devin, you seem and maybe it's just me because I'm the big little cousin. I guess I'm older than you, but I'm so much when I see you, you are so when I thinking of you guys separately, I think that you seem taller than me than Brownie, but maybe not. I guess not.
Well,
Maybe it's the body structure or
he's leaner. He's leaner. I'm a little broader, uh, but he's taller at least by two. I give him 2 inches taller than me.
Who's the better basketball player
Now,
between the two of
uh,
y'all?
oh.
that's a good question.
uh,
I would say I got the better accolades, so that would be me.
oh, okay. It's all
I got
right
the
to
hard.
toot your
Oh,
own
we're about to do a
I think I got
one-on-one, Brownie. Gonna watch
I got
yeah,
more
yeah, you probably.
hardware. I got more hardware, more championships, more MVPs, more. I'm in the Hall of Fame in my college. I got more accolades.
Okay, well, you gonna get a comment. Somebody go
Well,
get a comment in a minute.
We're gonna be on the court for a
I've been
one-on-one.
meaning to, I've been meaning to catch up with him when I got down there too. Like I've been, I miss him every time I come down there. Mad, cool dude. looked out for me one summer when we was trying to get on with the Warriors, was playing the summer league, and then his brother and my cousin grew up together. So, I'm very aware of him and his achievements and his fathering skills and all that good stuff. But, I speak no lies. I got more hardware.
Hey.
Okay. Okay.
I got the ball. I got the ball. I could be the lawyer. I could dribble the ball on the one.
Humble yet honest.
Now I have no chance. Now I have no
Okay.
chance. I don't play ball. I don't play ball, not even for fun. And it's been that way
Do
ever
you
since
don't
I
miss it?
retired.
You don't
Nope.
miss it? No. Okay.
No.
So was playing ball, was that just an opportunity that presented itself? Was it something that you always wanted to do and somehow you ended up in finance versus ball? Like, how did that even come into play?
Ball, no, I just loved it. I played all three. I played all three major. Well, so baseball, basketball, and I played football for 1 year. But I potentially should have played football more than 1 year in high school. But once my cousin stopped coaching me, it was a wrap after that. So I pretty much went away from that. I should have spent more time, but I love basketball. Didn't need anybody to push me into it. I was naturally above average. I was naturally all right. So I just pursued it as hard as I could, and it took me around the country, across the nation, however you want to put that. And I lived overseas for 3 years. So like I said, I was 22 years old from standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. You see what I'm saying? So
Oh,
just
you was in Paris. I
well,
think Wayne
yeah,
was in
but
Spain, right?
man, he was all over the place.
Wayne,
Yeah, he was all
he was
over.
all over. Okay.
He
He
went to
played in many,
Spain. He's
many,
been to
many countries.
Dubai. He's played a lot of.
Yeah. But I played in
Okay.
Luxembourg though, but Luxembourg is landlocked by Belgium, Germany, and France. So it only took me I actually lived in Germany and I worked in Luxembourg. So I had a flat right across the Mosel or the border. It's some water. As soon as you cross over the bridge, you're in Luxembourg. So it took me 30 minutes to get to Belgium and 45 minutes to get to France, depending on the direction. So
Oh
that
wow.
was a great place for me to be at 22 because all I was doing was playing basketball, getting paid more than most professionals in that country, sleeping till about 1 a.m. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, going to work out, going to eat lunch, and then practice for like 3 or 4 hours. And then it's like, okay, maybe I'm gonna go to deep into Germany, or I'm gonna go to Belgium, or we're gonna go to France. So that was a lovely, lovely time in my life.
Oh, good for you. How does one even get the opportunity to do that? Like, do y'all have scouts come out? Like, how do you get the invite to go play ball overseas?
Some people play at these big universities, and they have a pipeline of people that will be waiting to give you an opportunity to go overseas and make some money if you do not get a chance to play in the NBA. I went to a Division II school I graduated from, and we had some really good, talented players, and we built our own pipeline and our own networks. And at one time, from that little small school, there was at least 6 to 10 Humboldt lumberjacks playing overseas, making some money, continuing their dreams. So I got lucky. I sent out a tape to agents. Some agents are good, some agents are better than others. But I literally sent some tapes out, and I got a phone call while I was on lunch at Wells Fargo. I knew I wanted to go overseas. I didn't know how. I was trying to connect with some of my boys that were there because they graduated a year or two before. They can only do so much. So I got lucky and I had a great opportunity, and I never missed a paycheck. My car was free, my house was free, my food was free. My gym
Wow.
membership was free. I was running around and I made good money.
Nice.
Nice. So let's in the present. Now that you're a financial advisor, we have so many people that are. I mean, especially in this economy, we live in California. Well, yeah, we live in California. Um, is there any advice you can give for people who are trying to maybe better their credit? What can they do to kind of like get in a position to make themselves prepare themselves for maybe to be comfortable financially, to save money, not feel like they're constantly chasing their tail? Is
Well, if
there?
you're talking about building credit, right? Your first question, the first part of your question,
Mhm.
you gotta get a credit card. It's as simple as that. Those people that have a credit card already, don't be afraid of it. Use it every day. Use it for everything that you can use and then more. And then leave your money in the checking or savings account. Just leave it there, right? It's not gonna rot. It's not gonna spoil. Don't try to use both cards, and that second card and that both statement is that debit card. Put that up. Leave that at home, right? So
Oh,
people get caught with debt because they're using both cards, and you got to realize you're dealing with the same dollar. One is a debit card, one is a credit card, right? Most of us get paid 2 times a month. Most of us. There's some other payment schedules, but how I use my card, I use it for everything. I put all my bills, my recurring bills, everything on my credit card. I get a paycheck, whatever my balance is, I just pay it off of my paycheck. I throw the rest in the savings account. It's
oh,
going to earn you some cash back, some miles, some hotel stays. You get good payment history,
No interest
and
because you paying it off. You don't have to
it's
pay no
always,
interest on it.
yeah, yeah.
wow.
Because that's the thing most people worry about. So we got a cousin named Yuri. I'm a name dropper. Yeah,
I was like, you putting Yuri out there.
yeah. I want to name
Y'all, we
drop.
ain't scared. We'll name drop the family if you got
Yeah,
something to say to that.
yeah.
I don't
So
know
he was.
Yuri, so I'ma just sit on here.
I got some other cousins too that just looking at me crazy. I'm like, why? I'm not gonna use a credit card. It's gonna pay it. It's like, wait a minute. You don't ever have to worry about what that interest say. Every time I get a paycheck, I pay the balance off. You don't gotta pay. You just pay the statement balance. Don't get caught paying that minimum balance. People pay the minimum balance because they're using both of their cards. They're using that debit card. They're using
Oh, I've
cash.
been doing that too, though. I've been
Just
paying
sit
that.
that over to the side. Sit
I'm
that
learning
there.
something. Okay.
Put that over there. You don't even need to touch that. It's the same dollar. I get frustrated when I go to merchants and they take debit cards. A main culprit of that is Winco. Winco don't have credit cards. So if I got to go in there, I'm pissed off because I got to use my debit card. But if I'm not getting cash back, a mile, hotel points, I'm upset. And
Okay.
that statement balance, if it's $800, pay it off. Just pay it off. You get paid every 2 weeks. Just pay it off.
I
It's
think
the
where
same
people get
dollar.
messed up at, they spend more money, right? Living beyond your means is like, yeah, you can pay it off if you keep it at a payoff rate or amount, right? But I think people are spending more than what they should be spending, so they can't pay it off.
Boy, that's a different conversation, and that's talking about budgeting. And
Yeah.
if you talk about budgeting, when you start using that credit card, I guarantee you start budgeting, right? I mean, but these things happen by default in my experience. You're like, okay, well, I was spending all that money on this, and I probably shouldn't do that. And so you can't do what I'm telling you to do immediately. It takes time. It does take time. So when I was talking about my cousin, he gives TED Talk speeches now. And he got up in front of this huge audience and said, I don't even use cash no more. I might have $20 to $50 in my wallet, but I'm strictly credit card. Put a big smile on my face. I wish I had saved the message he sent me 5 years ago when I first put him on this. I got another cousin that lived in Vegas who said the same thing. They just was down with credit card, but you can't just start it today. You obviously got to do some work to get to that point. But once you get to that point, we only carry the debit card for necessities. You got way more flexibility with credit.
No.
So we need to learn how to
That's the
use
first
it.
time I've heard that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first time I've
Yeah.
heard that concept.
Yeah.
Usually you hear use cash, right? So you don't want to run up your credit card bills. You want to keep it at what 30%. That's your credit card balance should always be like 50% or less. 30%
30%
is
or less.
better. So you always want to keep your balance low, put a little something, but keep low. Because when you buy a house, they always talking about your right? So you don't want to have high debt. You want to have a little bit of debt and, mortgage and all the other stuff. So this talks about something a little bit different in reverse. But this is the first time I've ever heard that. But I can see how that could work. Absolutely.
And
So
I
what?
think we get.
Oh, go ahead. My bad,
I'm
Kat. Go
sorry.
ahead.
I was gonna say, do we get confused? The 30% is because that's what when you're buying a house or something, and you have to be at that 30. That balance. All those numbers for a lender. I think that's where the 30% is, the usage, and because that's what they're looking at when you're going to try to purchase a home,
So
right?
that's like your total debt to ratio. The
Yeah.
numbers are a little bit higher, right? 70, 80%. But your credit card usage shouldn't be more than 20%. So I always carry a balance on my card. But
Mm.
anytime it get over 1,000, I immediately pay it. Like I don't like to carry more, and I got a pretty large credit card limit. But if it get to 1,000, I'm just knocking it down. So, but if I have $1,000 balance and my statement balance is 600, I'm gonna pay my $600 statement balance, and I'm gonna just let that $400 ride on to the next statement. Credit cards like to see that you keep balances, that you can manage balances, that you can pay them off on time. And in the end, you're gonna be able to have two houses in your name, car, auto loan, all the 800 credit, all the best rates. Everybody gonna want to sell everything to you.
So one of the things that someone brought up to my attention like a couple of years ago, and I think because we were taught that probably as kids, like it's a generational thing where no, a lot of people used to think no credit is good credit, but then what people found out was you can have no credit history and then you go in. I know people who went in and like tried to purchase something, and they're like, well, I tried to get a car, but I can't get the car because I have a good credit limit. I'm a good credit score. However, I have no credit history. So that's like what is it? A myth. Like no credit isn't always doesn't mean good credit, because you need to show that you've had some kind of history, right? Of
Yeah,
paying off something, and so that the
yeah,
bank can see that.
you're right. Absolutely. If you
But we get
have
told that
no
all the time.
credit, it's worse. No credit is worse than bad credit. That's what I hear. That's what
Yeah,
I hear.
I think we were told
I have
like
a question.
okay.
Go ahead, Kat.
No, I didn't have one. I was just finishing up.
Oh, so I kind of have two questions. The first question is just in your experience, what you do now as far as being a financial planner. I want to know what the I want to make sure I use the right word. The type of population of people that you deal with. Like, I don't want to say black, white, or Hispanic or Jewish or whatever, but what is the majority of your clientele ethnicity is in your current situation? That's the first question. So I'll let you answer that one first.
About 95% white.
95% white. And then, so as a financial planner, take us into, for somebody who's never had a financial planner, because a lot of us have heard about financial planners. I know if you have credit unions or banks, they always have that little offer where if you want to speak to a financial planner, a lot of people don't. So what do they get? What comes with getting a financial planner? Like, what's the benefit to having a financial planner? Is it just somebody who comes along and tries to tell me how to manage my money because I don't know how to manage it right? Do you guys give them, information about like maybe stock usage or, how to do this? Like, what goes into your job? What's the benefit of hiring you or a financial planner?
So one of the
I think
benefits
that's a good
is
question.
that's a
That
great
is. I
question.
like that.
So yeah, yeah, you. So what I enjoy most about my job is the education piece. Believe it or not, I don't like to talk too much about investments because investments are the easiest thing that we can do for ourselves. You put money in there and you hold it.
Mm.
Success comes when you have time in the market, right? So when we are talking about credit cards or estate planning or retirement spending or taxes, The financial planning is making sure that we have all of those different subjects covered for our clients. I can't give you, I can't, Kenny, you can't come and see me and I just tell you, hey, your investment is up 8% or the market's down 15% and think that I'm adding value to your situation. We need to figure out what is it that you're prioritizing, what's your time horizon, how much risk can you tolerate, what are your goals, then we can get to the investments. So we sit here and have these conversations and it can go 40 minutes and we don't even discuss investments. So with someone like myself, we're trying to get to the root of why you came to see me in the first place. How do I use my credit card? How do I get myself out of debt? Who do I need to go talk to partner with to see if I'm qualified for a mortgage? Who do I go talk to if I want to start a charitable giving program? If I'm a multi-millionaire who's trying to save money on estate tax planning, right? Because I want to pass my money down to my heirs with as much tax efficiency as I possibly can. What if I'm in the 37% tax bracket and I like to trade options and I think I'm making a killing, but I'm selling everything and getting the short-term capital gains rate, which is worse than my marginal tax bracket. There are many different things that we bring to the table that will make our clients have a aha moment. So hopefully I answered your question, but we bring more to the table than just buy Coke and Pepsi. We talk about you, your kids, your family, everything to get you to start really thinking. If I ask you what retirement look like for you in 10 years, what does that look like? And then we go from there.
Oh, wow. In 10 years?
Do you do a full account overview? Like if I was coming to you, do I bring like all my balances and my bank accounts and all my balances on my credit cards? Like, do we bring all that? Like you said, you could talk like 40 minutes before you even get to investments. But once you figure out while I'm there, do you do like a full account review and say, this is what you're doing here and there, or is all that stuff kind of optional?
We do that over multiple meetings
Okay.
because the first meeting is, oh, so tomorrow morning I'm going to get coffee with a woman that I met in a coffee shop, right? So she is taking over a pharmacy, 3 or 4 kids. I'll confirm that tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Has a retirement plan, doesn't contribute as much as she needs to know if what type of IRA she needs to supplement her work retirement. Because if she's not maxing out her elective deferrals, which is how much money you can put in a 401k every year, then you can put money in IRA. So, but she's getting ready to take over the business. So she's a business owner. So we need to talk about insurances because she's a key person, payroll, all kind of stuff, right? So that
Okay.
meeting is really just understanding what's important to her and how I can add value. Then the next time it's like, okay, well, we talked about this today. Why don't you bring me a statement here? Bring me that. Bring me some documents about your retirement planning. I know somebody who can look at that and get back to you and see where some pitfalls are, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
Okay. I've been reading a couple. There's been a lot of articles because the market is in such disarray, so to speak, right? There's so many people speaking out, waiting for it to crash, waiting for this. This is going to do this, and this. There's been some talk about 401k plans and how they're really not a good idea. So I'm just going to ask you your opinion about 401k plans. What do you think about those?
401k plans are one of the most critical components of a successful retirement plan. If you don't have one, it's going to be really hard for you to retire and maintain your current standard of living. So I never heard from anywhere that 401k plans are bad. That's news to me. I hope that they're not putting that out there. Enough Americans, many Americans don't save enough money as well. So if you're not saving in the 401k at your job, where are you saving? That would be my question to somebody that came up and posed that question to me. Could an investment in a particular 401k not be the right one? Yeah, you can have a bad investment. But in general, if you, in general, 401ks are what you need. They're like the tipping off point for you putting anything away for retirement. Because if you don't have a 401k, not every company offers one, then you can't
Right.
save for your retirement, right? So if anybody has a has access to a 401k, you need to be putting money away in that 401k. And if your company has a match, you need to at least be doing that. If you can, everybody's situation,
It's different.
some folks need every dime, right? But at some point you got to think about when you want to start working. The one thing they don't
Well,
tell
what
you
do
about 401ks is that you need to be putting more than 5% in there. And if you get a certain age, you need to be increasing your contribution every year by 1 or 2% in order to keep pace with inflation. Because that $10,000 you got in your bank account ain't gonna be able to buy the same goods and services in 10 years that it can buy today. We can see that by the prices going up everywhere, right? So people be putting their 3% in the 401k and thinking, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. The maximum you can put in a 401k in a single year is $23,000. That's not a lot of money. So we need to be maxing out 401ks. We need to be maxing out IRAs. We need to be we need to be having other investment accounts or property or, to be able to maintain
something
that steady living.
a nice diversity profile. So, and I'm gonna tell you this. So, I had a couple of colleagues, right, who were supposed to retire. Remember when the stock market a couple years ago kind of everybody kind of took a nosedive. I think it was when the housing bubble popped or whatever, but a lot of people took a nosedive. So I had a couple colleagues who were supposed to retire that year, but because of that, therefore they lost a lot of money in their 401k. I know I lost money as well, but because of that, they had to stay and work a little bit longer because of that thing. So that's one of the things that comes up is they're saying that because the 401k a lot of times is tied to the stock market, it's still very volatile and you having all your eggs in that basket, that it can be very, very risky. So they're like when they're talking about the market probably crashing now, or the economy going to crash now, it's like if you got money in your 401k, you run the risk of just losing it all.
Yeah. Okay. So we talking about black swan events. That's what we call something like 2008, something like 2000. 2 years ago, COVID, or that was 4 years ago now.
4 years ago.
But 2 years ago, the market was down all year. We were borderline recession. The market was down 40%. So those events in the stock market happen once every 10 years, like it happened in 2022. And COVID, it was supposed to happen in 2020, but it looked like, from my lens, the government put that nice little stimulus when the Dow Jones went down to 18,000. They injected whatever that was, and then we had what we call a V shape. V as in Victor. We had a V shape recovery, and then the market went up to new highs. But did it catch up to us at the beginning of 2022? Then we had that U shape. It looked like a U and it stayed all the way down at the bottom all year. So we didn't get a sharp uptick, right? So when I say you need time in the market to have success, you typically need some years, right? And none of my clients sold a dime when that market was down. And that's important to me because that's when you realize actual losses, right? You can take paper losses all you want to, but if you sell when that market's down, you'll never get any of that money back, right? So
Right.
it's not the 401k that's the issue. It's the market driving everybody's money's down. Now, if you had money in a regular old investment, you lost money too. It wasn't just the 401k. What happens is we can never predict when those events happen, and it's unfortunate. So when the market is down, I'm thinking about my people who are getting ready to retire. I'm not thinking about my retired folks because typically retired folks got their houses paid off, cars paid off. They're in a better position today than they were 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. So I don't really worry about them. It's the people who got 2 or 3 years. And I do have to have that conversation. Hey, we thought we was going to retire at 64. We can't do that right now. Those are difficult conversations, but that comes with the territory. Their investments are amazing. it's just what the economy, what the world is going through. So there's a distinction between that and the actual vehicle, the vehicle being a 401k.
How do you feel about IULs?
They all have a place. It just depends, right? So when we start talking about annuities, life insurance, things of that nature, it depends on what it's for. They all serve a purpose, right? So that's when I get into the conversation about priorities. I said all my prospective clients, and then I have my current clients in the annual review do the priority quiz, right? So when we're trying to find the right diversification, we might have to use some type of variable product, a whole life product, index product that is not your traditional mutual fund or ETF or stock. And it might be in the form of IUL. It might be. But I would have to ask a little bit more questions than what interests you or somebody who would want an IUL. Why do you think that's a good investment? Because I would never say that it isn't. I just want to figure out why you bring that up. And not you, just anybody in general. Because everybody will come to me and say, well, I heard about this. I heard about a Roth IRA. I heard about a variable whole life. I heard about a MEC. Somebody told me that's a good investment. So then
You frozen,
my mind
Cat.
goes to, oh, man.
Can you hear, Cat?
I'm from. Can you hear me? On my end.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you see me? Am I frozen?
I can see you.
It was frozen. Cat was frozen for a minute. You was going in that. You frozen right now.
I think you're frozen.
Now Cat's frozen.
You're frozen.
I'm the one that's moving. Y'all see me moving?
No, you're not moving.
You're frozen. You're frozen.
I hear you.
Okay, but yeah. Do you hear what? Did that make sense? What I was saying though, like there's a place for most investments. Yeah, she's probably logging off and logging back in. So, yeah.
It's like, I think she was the one frozen.
Yeah, earlier it was a little echo too. She was going in and out. But
that's like that one I sent you. You know, like of course you know when you're on Instagram, there's always something. That's why I sent you that the other day. Like, is this real? Because he made, you know, they make those videos, those reels that make you think like.
Yeah, but see, so there wasn't enough information, right? Do you know how long you would have to live to be able to do that? The average American don't have $400 in their savings. So when people just start spewing stuff out like that, I just listen. Some of it might be true. Some of it you're missing a ton of information, right? You're missing a ton of information. So everybody thinks
videos and they put them out and you're like, oh, if I just get this, I can save this much money. So
he just told him Morgan Stanley. Like Morgan Stanley is a brokerage house, right? Then he said something else about I forgot the other thing he said, but it was like, okay, well, we need more information, and everybody's gonna listen to that and eat that up, right? And so you can go to the comments and tell who understands BS and who doesn't really get it, right? Because they just don't teach us about money. When did we learn about money? I didn't learn about money until I started having to manage my own money, right? They didn't teach us in high school how to use credit cards, how to write. No. Kennedy had an A period. We learned how to write a check, and that was that. They didn't tell us how to manage our money. So
no. Yeah. I remember when I went to Monroe College, I'm like, I got every credit card. Like, I remember the people. I don't think they should do that. Be on campus and give you all the student credit cards. So I had a Sears card, a Mervin's card, a Visa card. I'm like, all these credit cards. I ain't got no job like that. I'm still only 19 years old. Like, so no one said, don't you be letting them people when you go to college,
right,
give you all those credit cards,
right,
and the interest rate.
Card now. Yeah,
I didn't even know anything about interest. The only thing you know is you 19 with a credit card, okay?
Yeah.
I had about 12 at one point. I had every card on the planet.
Card.
Not
And you
not
maxed
even
it
knowing
out.
about that interest rate. Yeah, kicking it, big kicking it,
Yeah, like, oh,
living the
don't
dream.
worry, I got the credit card, ching ching.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to go to, I'm a current event type of person, and
Let me okay. Let me ask him one more question before you go to the current event. So hold that one. Couples, and I'm gonna bring this up because we always have the war between the men and the females going on right now, as far as who brings what to the table, and equally financial things and all that. What kind of advice, or do you have certain types of advice that you give to couples, or do you have your own personal opinion about couples and finance? Because that's a big thing,
Whew, that's a good
especially if y'all not
question.
married. Okay, and then next, cat.
Ooh, that's a good question. From the male perspective, if you're not displaying that you're competent in leading your household, you may not have the pull or the quote unquote final say about what goes on. You got to be able to lead. You got to be able to talk to your woman about money. Don't just talk at her. Don't talk at her about it, if that makes sense. Many men will walk in the house, and I know, and I've talked to some of my partners. We will talk at our women about money, but not talk to them about it. Like, ask them, hey, how's your retirement going? What your savings account look like? Right? It doesn't have to be a conversation that's uncomfortable, right? If you're with a partner and you're sharing everything, if you're splitting everything down the middle, or if one person's picking up the whole bill, just communicate, right? But men have a tendency, because we got so many problems once we go out that door in the morning and go into the world, into the workplace. When we get home, we just want to vent, and it's not always inclusive. It's not always an inclusive conversation. I'm just talking at Candy. This is what's going on with my paycheck. They did this, they did that. I'm trying to get this raise. I'm trying to do, what I'm saying? Candy might, because women have so many competing priorities, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about nothing you talking about. It's in one ear and out the other, right? Or if I start that conversation with Candy and I'm like, tell me about your 401k, she might look at me like,
Nigga, what
if we
now?
got if we got 2 kids or 3 kids, like, who's tugging on whose shirt, right? I need to get these sandwiches made. I need to get somebody to football practice. I need to do. So it's the competing priorities that women have. So, and I'm just speaking from personal experiences and my conversations that I have with my peers. But again, you have to, in your relationship with couples, as a man, you have to display that you're competent. If you're not competent, it's like anything can go on. You can let anything go if you're not competent, because she's not going to follow you if you can't lead correctly. So personally, I've never had any issue, because I think the difference between men and females, we plan down the road as well. Some and most, but not all women are day to day. Again, because they got so many other things tugging at them. So anyway, I'll stop right there. Kat, you look like you want to get in on that.
So I want to get, because I'm interacting. So
Go ahead, interact.
there's a
Yeah.
question that was posed. Why do men think a woman should pay half? Do you think that?
Do I
Oh,
think a
Candy.
woman should pay half?
Oh, Lord, this is different.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. I didn't say nothing. I'm just listening.
So I don't. So I'm gonna speak from experience, because when I was charting my path to where I'm at right now, my woman paid half, and it was again, our communication was on point, and she had known me for so long that I had achieved almost every single thing that I set out to. If I said in a year, this is where I'm gonna be, I was there, right? But in the meantime, well, shit, I'm a part of this relationship too. I'm gonna make it go. Like, here, let's go, and she's seen me every step of the way, right? And so I say all that to say that particular man may not be in a place where he can pay 100% of every single thing. He may want to, but he might not be there yet.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really get into a place. Men don't really get all their value into their like mid to late 30s, early 40s. So we might need a little help. We might not be able to ask it in a way that you might be like, oh, yeah, I got you. We say it in a way where you might be looking at us crazy. I don't know. But it's also about that individual's pockets.
Okay. Angela, I hope that answered your question. Let me know if it's something else you
Because
want
that's too many. That's just too broad. Why do men? That's I don't know.
I think it's a case by case basis. I would say you don't.
Yeah.
You can't just one man. I don't think can answer that.
Yeah, I can't speak for all men like on that one. I give you.
How do you feel about going Dutch?
So I don't do that. If I ask in my lifetime,
it don't mean he does it.
if I I don't go Dutch, but I also, if I'm invited out, I'm not gonna overstep. If I'm invited out, she will pay. But if I'm like, yo, hey, let's go do this, let's hit this, and that, or I'm gonna fly over here and I'm gonna get, then that's on me. But if I'm invited out, whoever makes that invitation, like I'm not gonna step on that woman. She oh, I want to, let me do it. I got okay, cool. But
Dutch is
personally, I don't know.
So Dutch is somebody is inviting somebody out, but y'all just going Dutch, right? Because y'all gotta have a conversation. Is it, you know what I mean? So y'all going out, a guy invites you out, but y'all just.
I don't even
or
let
he
it
invites
get to a conversation. The conversation is me pulling out my payment card. That's just what it is. Or I might just say, get what you want. I got it. That's the end of the conversation.
Your cousin likes to go Dutch.
I mean, is it just the two of y'all? Are y'all talking about as platonic girlfriends? What y'all talking about?
So this was the first date. I had this thing about if you meet somebody at the first date. I mean, you meet a guy or a girl, y'all talking, your man, woman, they talking, and it's like I say, don't put someone in a predicament where you're like, I want to go to dinner, I want to go to this restaurant, and I say, let's go to coffee and do Dutch. Let's have a conversation, because I may not even like you to go to dinner with you, and that.
Okay, well, I don't think nothing wrong with that, but you saying it up front. You saying it up front. I think that's better than what I see out there right now. And there's so many wild expectations. It's cool to let somebody know. Like, hey, why don't we just, we go Dutch, we go grab some coffee, we go chop it up. Yeah. I would appreciate that.
I'm thinking you go on the first date. Some of these I'm gonna say some of these women will be like, oh, I'm going to go to this restaurant. And then it's like, do I really even, why am I? And then they don't have the money to pay for it. So they expecting the guy to pay for the date because he's the man. I say this icebreaker date should be very easy. No pressure.
So things have shifted since, I was a young.
And you don't believe this.
Being my old ripe age that I am now. Things have
That's not
shifted.
true.
Women go on dates just to get food. They're not even interested in the guy, right? So things have shifted. Back in the day, we can go get some ice cream, and I could take her, down to Pinot somewhere and look down on the water from the train track or something. Or I could go down to the marina or what's that? Richmond Beach way down about the old plunge. What's that?
Kellis Beach.
Kellis Beach. We can go do that. We ain't gotta go $200. We didn't have it back then, but now it's like a man that's like on a first date probably is gonna pay on that first date, and probably not have any problems with paying on the first date.
Yeah, most men. But whoever
because women choose. Women have all the power. So women choose, right? And so a guy like is interested, so he's paying. He's paying because he's interested
See,
in a few
women have
things. And so
because
women can just sit there
y'all
and
know
chill.
I believe. I mean, well, this is my belief. I do believe women have power. We are powerful because I know when I meet a guy, I know what what I'm willing to do. I know if I'm willing to go to a home run base. I know already when we
Yeah.
see a guy, we already, as women, we know like he could get it. That type of, so if I already know that, but if I know you ain't gonna get it, let's do coffee and see if maybe we can talk about it.
Okay, well that's cool for you because you could say you could be like some other women and say, I'm finna go get him for a $200 meal. And it bet not be Cheesecake Factory, right? Right?
But
Because women,
nowadays,
women got all, they hold all the power. Y'all hold all the power.
So
I'm
I
just the
disagree
dude to
with you,
go get it.
Devin. I disagree with you to a certain extent. I understand the fact that you think women have power because if you liked me, the power's in my court as far as whether I'm gonna reciprocate something back to you, right? So you kind of like waiting to see on that end. But my thing is with a first date, with all the complaining that the men were doing on the first date, it's like you guys get to decide where you want to take her, right? I'm not going out with a guy and picking out the place and all this other stuff. I'm talking to a guy, we're interested, we're going to go hang out. He can choose the place, right? You picking me up, you're taking me out, you want to show me a good time. It's all about the experience. But don't take me to a place that you can't afford. I don't think that's my fault, right? Because I didn't ask you to take me here. Now, if you are dating someone, I think a lot of times men too are dating outside their league. They need to choose better, just like women need to choose better. Or you date a woman, she looks a certain way, she dressed a certain way, she looked like she got money, she looked like she deal with dudes that got money. You shouldn't be taking her out if you don't have no money. Or if you choose otherwise, there's plenty of women who who'll take a Big Mac and some fries and they'll go sit at the park with you. You know what I mean? But maybe she
so
don't look the way you look, the way you
the
want her to look, or she don't have the assets that you have.
but the flip
What?
side to that is, and then here this is where we always, a lot of times what I see, I'm going to say from my experience, I see a lot of these women who can't afford it themselves. I'm never going to ask anybody to take me anywhere, any place that I cannot do for myself. And that's what these new age women, that's what they do. They can't afford some of these restaurants, but they want to be at these restaurants and be on TikTok and do all that. But can you afford to take yourself? That's all I'm saying.
They should be able to, but if a guy calls me and I say and he asks me where I want to go, maybe I
I want
can't
to go to
afford this place,
Maestro's, but I ain't never been
but
to
he wants to go to
Maestro.
Maestro's. Okay, so then he got an option. Now he got some power because he don't have to take her there. You know what I
But
mean? Like
y'all don't
Okay.
he
understand
don't have
is
he don't have
women,
to take her to Maestro's, huh?
right? Women, some of these women cannot afford these places, but they put that on the guy and they wouldn't be able to take, they ain't even got that in their purse. Just saying.
So another thing is, so you would like the man can choose. There's a lot of pressure on a man to ask the woman out, go pick her up, take her to the restaurant, plan the whole night, and then he can get there, as we saw on live on Blast. Take her to a place like Cheesecake Factory. She put him on blast because he took her to the Cheesecake Factory. Like that was a problem,
I like
right?
this.
So that just throw everything that kind of, to me, that negates everything you were saying, because the men don't have no power. Just because we're trying to create a safe space for you to feel comfortable, because you dictate if I'm going to win at the end of the night or next week or whenever,
We
right?
dictate if you're gonna get some. We dictate if you're gonna get some snatch, probably. But that's one woman. That one situation that got put on the internet doesn't represent the majority of the women. It depends on the women that you deal with, right? So there's
So
a
that's the
whole
same thing.
plethora.
I could say the same thing about what you just said 3 minutes ago. So we can get caught up talking about outliers, or we can talk about the majority. We can talk about one-offs because that's what we're talking about, or we can just talk about the
Right.
majority of interactions, right? So the majority of interactions, the women hold all the power to everything. We got to come correct. And if everything ain't right, it's on to the next, even if the woman don't have what she's requiring, what she has on her application. Here's the difference. I can find that McDonald's worker to hand me my double cheeseburger, my whatever number 7, and I can deal with her. Y'all not finna go and deal with a man that hand you your number 7 out the window. That's the difference between men and women, generally speaking. And I'm not talking about outliers. I'm talking about the majority. Men, if we find a woman attractive, she can be a McDonald's worker, and we can deal with that. Women, on the other hand, not going to do that. Find me a case where that happens. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. And that's a majority of women and men interactions. Not the one that's going to be in the chat in the comments talking about, oh, I would. My man was. Well, then I would ask after that, how long did you stay with him while he was getting himself together? Because it's not long, because we all know women initiate what all the divorces, all the breakups, so.
What Kanye say? I ain't saying she no gold digger, but she ain't messing with no bro.
I don't know. I wouldn't call them that. I mean, I wouldn't say that. It's just, we all got eyes, and if you're paying attention to what's going on out there right now, I got a great seat. I can just sit back and just look and be like, God damn it, I'm glad I ain't got to do that. You see what I'm saying?
Wait, I say that because we live in a different age. Like, we're living in a world where everything is on camera, is on video, it's on, and a lot of people are living a life to impress. We gotta hold on. Everything gotta be on Instagram, on social media. We gotta portray this certain life. Not saying we, but as a people, that's what people do. People are taping everything, putting it on live. So I gotta show that I got a guy, but I gotta show that this guy is taking me to the best restaurants, because I'm making my Instagram, my social media self is somebody different. But then we got those people we know in real life, and we're like, you don't even live this life in real life. So I think that's where it's coming. A lot of it is more like it's for the gram, as the younger generation.
But that's I feel like that's a whole different generation. The people in my generation, the people that I hang around with, that I associate with, we have nothing to do with what's going on right now. We don't move like that. We pick up tabs. We make money. We know how to take care of our men. We still cook. We still clean. We still work. We still do all that. So it's a generational thing, in my opinion. But I feel like the narrative is just kind of getting out of hand, because who's teaching the men and who's teaching the women? Now the men are all banding together. Even men my age, I'm starting to hear, certain kind of negative comments about, women take advantage of you. You have 40-something, 50-something years old. Shouldn't a woman be able to take advantage of you, right? Who are you choosing? What type of women are you dealing with? And I think men need to take more accountability for the type of women that they choose. It's not always us. She could be that type of woman, but you should be old enough to know better, and you know what type of woman you getting. So either you with it or you not. I don't think it's nothing wrong with a woman wanting to date a man with money. She has a right to want to live life with a man who can secure her financially. And there are some men who actually prefer that. It's some men who do want to take care of their woman, that do want them to stay at home, that don't want them to work. So you just got to find your match. And the conversations have to start somewhere, but I think that there's a lot of things that's getting missed.
So is it okay for a man to be like, what? I want to stay home, and I want her to work, and I want her to take care of the bills. And is that? I just think that you need somebody equally yoked. I don't think society would approve of that. But when it comes to relationships, that's about whatever works for y'all. You know what I mean? There was a situation a long time ago. It was on the radio, and it was a great topic because it was a situation like that. The couple had a kid. The wife was living her dream, right? This was her career job. So she wanted the husband to stay at home and raise their daughter so she could live out her dream. He did that. He stayed home. He did whatever. The daughter got about 16, 17. She graduated. After she graduated, the wife came back and wanted the husband to go back to work or find a job, because now she felt like, well, you're not taking care of our daughter no more. There's no use for you to be at home while I'm getting up and going to work every day.
I took the husband's side. The husband was like, man, I didn't sacrifice 20 plus, let's just say 20 years, so she can live out her dream and do whatever. I'm close to retirement, right? And now she wants me to get out there and work whatever because she didn't like the fact that her husband was staying at home now because the daughter had graduated.
So
I felt like,
I agree with everything you say, Candy. I agree with everything you just said. But that one little last part, I always take it back to like the weird, oh, like you got your cluster of things that happen, and we got our one-offs. That don't make it any less true because it's a one-off. But so I appreciate where you're coming from about all of that. So I can dig everything you're saying. I agree with you. Some men don't. Not all men have it together. They don't, and everybody need to be responsible for who they lay with or spend their time with. But I will also say I wasn't trying to get into the gold digger thing. I don't like saying that. I definitely don't like saying that. It's okay for people to have their preference or preferences when it comes to earnings and who they want to be with. And yes, some men want a woman that's going to stay home and do all that kind of stuff. But some of these requirements are out of hand because it ain't that many men that make some of the things that these women out here nowadays require. So that's really, I mean, that's in general, but I was agreeing with almost everything you were saying, Kenny. And Kat, I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm not trying to stay at home. I'm trying to work,
I
bring
mean,
some
I'm
money
just
in. It
saying
ain't too many.
it's equal, like, but it's frowned upon. If if a woman wants to be like, I'm taking care of my man, he stay at home, that would be frowned upon. That would be like, what? He doing what? You doing
Because
what?
naturally, what are we supposed to be doing?
The man's supposed to take care of
providing and protecting, right? So,
Naturally, right?
but then that contradicts everything that some people bring to the conversation with the relationships now because men don't want to do that. They want to remove the gender roles. They don't want to be the sole providers. They want 50% down the middle. I'm providing and she's providing. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And let's be clear, I don't have a problem with that. But I'm just saying, naturally, back in the days, how it all started, the man went out and got the bacon, the woman cooked it. That it was a team effort. He worked outside of the house, she worked inside of the house. Now things have changed where both people are working, but it's just like, men, and nowadays I know a couple of people who they don't want to, they
Could the
the
economics be a lot different than it was back then too?
I think the
Especially
economics are.
where we live.
I think the economics do play a role in it, for sure. But I'm really more concerned with the mindset, right? I was married previously, right? Couple years, so many years ago, and my husband at the time came from a big family, and his mother was a stay-at-home mom. So he loved that. He loved that, and so he was just like when he got married, that's what he wanted. But at the time, we both had to work. Now, and his mindset was eventually, I want my wife to stay home and raise our children. That was his mindset. But the practical
Right.
part of it was we had to both work at the time, right? So I think it's more so of just the mindset, and then are you even striving to get to where you need to be? There's a lot of selfishness that's floating around here too. You know what I mean?
What was
People,
the age what age were y'all at when all that was going
we
on?
were we were in our early 20s.
See, a man ain't got so. In my humble opinion, like most of us, like I was saying earlier, most of us don't got all our value at that age. We don't get it. We don't get it. We're not able to get where we want to be until later from a value
Hmm.
standpoint. So that could be a reason why it's hey 50% here 50-50. I don't that could be one of the reasons. That may not be the only reason, and I can't speak for the entire male race. But for what I do, I look at back in the day, how much did it cost to get a house, how much was gas, how much so our parents and our grandparents, they lived in a time where one salary could carry a household. It's very
Right.
hard for a man to carry a household in today's climate, right? Millennials and under are suffering because of how much it costs just to rent out a place. I got college students, they like six deep to a dorm. They putting up partitions and they in their houses just to carve out some space or to get some privacy. And they trying to date with all this going on. Of course I'm gonna go 50-50. I can't even rent a studio out by myself. I gotta have, you see what I'm saying? So women get their value earlier on. That's why you got 22 to 25-year-olds dating a 45-year-old or 50-year-old man, right? Women can be on a yacht with a millionaire at the age of 20, not paying for nothing because we get our value a little bit later. We're more financially stable later.
I agree
Women,
with that.
y'all shoot out the womb with all y'all value, right? Y'all get, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it's fair or right or wrong. I'm just looking at what's going on right now, and I know the economics, the dollar standpoint. Yeah, man, it's taking. I'm not even where I want to be yet, right? I talked to some of my cousins. Oh, you further along than I was, but I'm almost there, and I'm not gonna stop till I get there, right? Then everybody's set. Then you got to ask yourself this question too. Like most men build themselves up in the way that I'm trying to do to have their families and other people be dependent upon them. These are not my words, but they make sense. Like they make real good sense. Most women build themselves up to be independent from a man. So there's a difference in today, right? So.
And we come
I would
from.
agree with you with that.
I agree. We come from a family where
Independent women.
independent women and the men there's equal household. So
Yeah,
Or
and
they
y'all
were
women taking
absent.
souls out there right now. The way y'all women talking to men,
Listen, we gonna end
y'all
up
taking
going down
y'all taking souls right now, bro. Like y'all
a whole
preaching to
nother rabbit
somebody that
hole.
ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got me. Y'all
That's a whole nother rabbit hole. We ain't even got
and,
that kind of time, Cat.
and that
of
ball been
women.
rolling down the hill for 10 or 15 years now. Y'all women off the hook right now, bro.
So
Goodness
so
gracious.
since we're talking about women, you think the world is ready for this woman president?
I don't think she gonna win, honestly.
Don't break my heart on live.
I don't think she gonna win.
For
It's
what we
nice.
up against.
It's nice. I don't know. It looked nice. It looked nice. But I don't know if she gonna win. How are we certain?
No, we're never certain. We never know until that day.
I mean, they didn't let Hillary get in there. What makes you think they're gonna get her in there?
You just broke my heart on live. This ain't
I'm
even
just
like
asking questions. I
a
didn't say she couldn't get
Are
in
you
there. I
gonna
just don't
cry?
know.
I'm about to
You
cry
gonna
in the
cry, Cat?
car. I ain't even gonna get
You gonna cry in a car?
You're talking that old politics stuff, man. That's a hard conversation to have. You know, there's so many layers to that conversation. You know,
It is.
so many layers you got to peel back. No pun intended, but it's just that's a complicated, emotional, divisive conversation to have.
I'm gonna be quiet. Because I'm still back on the men and women thing, and I got like 1,000 questions. We'll be here all night, and I just can't do it.
Oh
But
yeah, and I'm not the guy to ask all of that. You know, like I was raised by women, but I had a ton of older cousins around me, and I sat and I watched when I was younger, and I just watched and watched and watched, and then I realized what kind of power I wielded once I got it to a certain age, and then it's like now I can just sit back and watch. All my stuff is I'm chilling, you know. I'm old school family man, but now I can just sit back and watch, and I would not want to be going through
So
what's going through right now. I would quit.
one of our viewers said, Angeli said, Kelly said, because as they say, this is a man's world. That's why he thinks she's not gonna win.
That's a
I'm
hell of
just
an
reading the
assumption.
comments from the viewers. I didn't even think it.
Oh no, that's fine. I just asked if we knew she was going to win. I didn't say she. You know what I'm saying? But that's a hell of
Well,
an
we don't.
assumption.
We never know. November 5th will be the. When we thought. We never know.
She could get in there. I don't know. I don't. You know, not where I live at. Whew, boy, some trucks and like I don't know. I don't know if she's popular enough. I don't know. because that's what she needs, right? She got to get that popular vote and some other
Well,
stuff
no,
too.
she's those electoral votes, really. That's what makes the difference there. That's
Honestly, honestly, like when we talk about presidential candidates, are we talking about it because of what they can do for us, and we just skipping over what our local politicians can do for us? Is that what we doing?
no,
I don't know.
because when you think about it, the person who really counts, who can do for California, we got him. I mean, when you really think about it, the
What are you doing for
president versus
California?
your governor. Your governor is what really counts. I mean, California, that's what I look at. My governor.
So I'm still learning a lot about politics. That's why I don't like to talk a lot about it. But I sit there and I listen because I got a lot of older clients and then I got some younger clients that like to insert themselves into it. So I love asking questions about it. And as I get older, the older I get, the more money I make, the more conservative I get. You understand? So, but I don't know enough about everything to just say what I'm doing right down the middle, just point blank. This is what I'm doing. So I'm still learning, and I'm always listening.
Well,
So,
you know, we got somebody that we know that's running because every time I post, they say, "I thought
yeah,
you were
yeah,
running."
yeah, 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 yeah.
So yeah, it's just we'll see. We'll see what happens. You never know.
May the best candidate win. You know what I'm saying? Like
Whatever it's gonna be is what it's gonna
that's
be.
where I'm gonna go. I don't know. I don't know.
We're gonna
I
either
just
get
don't
the
know.
dude who wore the maxi pad on his ear to his convention, or I don't know. I know where my vote going, but I don't know what everybody else going. So we'll see.
That's
This will be
hey,
a
that's what's
conversation to
up.
have
That's the
after November.
beautiful thing about this country, right? You can, we gotta just learn how to listen and play nicely, right? Everybody want to be hating on somebody. Everybody want to be down with a clique so bad. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be down with one side. Right? What policies are they talking about, man? What are they talking about? How are they gonna affect what we do on a day to day? How are we gonna keep money in my pocket? That's what I'm interested in, right?
Yeah,
Who got the best policy? Not just because it's a woman, a man, blue, black, whatever. Just
we
you
Crips
know,
and Bloods around here, the way it seems.
and ready to throw blows over some people. You know what I'm saying? Like for what? Like god damn, like So, but again, that's my naivete. My ignorance on that. I'm not all the way there, and I ain't that interested in politics anyway. But I'm trying to learn a little bit.
But if I ask you about this Kansas City Chief game,
You know it. You know what's up.
I have to, say, y'all. So let me tell you. So this is what's funny. So we talk about sports all the time. We're a sports family.
Yep.
One of the things that happened, I want to say, um, Devin has this way with me that I have so much respect for him. So I remember, he'll remember the story probably. I was a LeBron hater. Okay, back in the day when he played Kobe, like especially I would be on there like talking so much trash on Facebook. I was a trash talker. And I remember one time you called and you were like, cuz I'm gonna need you to give him a break. I think I ended up it was when he first won a championship. And I said, he only won because they made him a team. And he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you gotta respect the man. You kind of just called me and laid out not LeBron James, the basketball player, but LeBron James, the person.
Yeah.
And then, but I was still like at first because I was like, no, because I seen how he did Kobe one time because he to me didn't have good sportsmanship. I would say because I remember we would beat him and then he would just go in the locker room. So I would get so mad, but they used to be on Kobe and call him a ball hog. So Devin called and said, we had this conversation. I was like, okay. So then I got to know LeBron James as LeBron James the person. And I will say I'm happy that we had that conversation because LeBron James the person is an awesome person to me. Like the things he does, what he gives back, the family man he is. I respect that man so when he came to the Lakers, it was easier for me to be like, okay, he's here.
Yeah.
We good. Yeah, I respect him. I respect what he does for the team. He reminds me so much of, I see like the same thing that I seen in Kobe, I see in him. Like he just wants to win and do good for his team. So I want to say that was one of the times, and then I'll share something else. Black Lives Matter. I put up a post back in 2020.
Golly.
And I said, so do Black lives really matter? Because it was like black on black crime. And what I love about one of the things about Devin is he's not going to, if I post something that he's questioning, he'll call me.
Well.
So he called and we had this great conversation and he explained it. And that was one of the conversations where I was like, wow, okay. Because I was angry. I was just more like, why Black lives don't matter? He explained the organization, explain what they really do, how we're, how my he's like, and the one thing about him is he's like, you don't got to take the post down. It's okay. I want to call you to educate you a little bit because it's okay. And I love that in you because it's like a self-reflection check sometimes. Even though I'm older, it's like, oh, see it that way. And I'm glad that you see things and you're kind of like, I want to just call you real quick and kind of nudge on you. And I love that about you. Because I've seen you from a little kid to now, just being this great human to people and to your family.
Thank you. But you also have to be willing to receive another person's perspective and opinion, right? So the fact that you can do that from a younger cousin, that be ready to receive that information, that speaks volumes about you too. And again, like I'm always learning. You get more life experience as you get older. And anybody that you care about, when I see them posting or doing something, I'm like, yo, like, what are we talking about? Again, let's get to the bottom of this. And I'm not going to put you on blast in public.
Yeah.
I'm not going to respond there. Let's just talk about it. Tell me what because it could be something that I don't even know.
Yeah.
And you just be like, okay, well, this is why I did it. But you let me tell you where I'm coming from what I got from your message. And we just, just chopped it up and came to a agreement together.
Yeah. And it's nice to have that balance. Me and Candy, we had that balance too sometimes. We just don't have it about
we have it a lot of times.
No, we do.
We have most of the time. It's all good. No, it's good. This has been definitely an interesting conversation. I knew finance was your background. She kind of told me, so I definitely wanted to just tap into that because I asked you the question about just the type of people that you kind of deal with, and you said about 90% white people. So I mean, how many of us are in 95% of black people, white people, but I feel like that's a problem. I wish more people would, more of us would get, dig into our finance when they talk about like the money, the psychology of money and how it interacts with our lives. A lot of us are carrying on bad traditions and cycles that we need to break. When our parents was messing up our credit or, you know what I mean? Just a lot of things like you talked about. You didn't even learn about finance until it was too late, or not until it was too late. But, if you would have got a head start, it would have been nice. So I wanted to open up that conversation just people, especially us, to just kind of, it's never too late to get your money right. And understanding that sometimes there's a lot more to it than just, paying a bill. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot more to it sometimes that go into that. But I'm gonna tap out, Kat. It's 8:20, so I'm gonna get ready. Are you guys gonna hang on the line a little bit longer?
I just want to, for a few more minutes. Can you stay on for a few minutes? I just want to just give like a little um, like we're all from Richmond, California, the three of us, and this is I want to show like say something about this is Richmond gets a bad rap sometimes, but here you are, watching a podcast with two women that are from Richmond, California, and have a nice career. We have goals, we have businesses, we're striving to be better, and then we have a great guest on here who is also born and raised Southside Richmond. Went to school in Richmond, went overseas to play, is a financial advisor. Just so I say this because we are proof that a product from Richmond can be way greater. Like, don't ever feel like you're from a certain hood or a certain city and you get talked about. We get talked about a lot. We still get talked about, but you can become anything you put your mind to. And I think that part of that, having Devin on here, I know like what great person he is, and he's never really gotten in any trouble or anything. He's had dreams and he's pursued that. Same here with us. I don't, I may talk like I may one day could have been in the orange jumpsuit, but I ain't never been in the orange jumpsuit.
You almost giving me Oprah right now. I'm feeling like you're having an Oprah moment right now.
I'm like way too. I think like 2 Oprah. I'm so proud of what we have, this platform. I'm glad that thanks everyone for who tuned in. Who's I'm a year later, here we are, and then to have a family member on who I'm so proud of. I look up to. He's younger. He's my little cousin, but he's really my big cousin because I'm so proud of you. I'm so amazed and in awe of you, of the man you are. And
is he the one off? Is he the one off that he been talking about all night? He's 39. He's so smart. He's articulate. He's financial. Like he's smart. He's articulate. Whatever. He ain't even hit his 40s yet. Are you the one off, Devin?
Actually, we have a lot of great.
I'm in the mix. I'm definitely in the mix.
You're in the mix.
I'm not a one-off. I'm not a one-off.
Good.
I would love to welcome you back. I think that when Brownie see this, it might be a little, one-on-one discussion we might have.
I wanted to speak to the type of clients I had because I don't think we ever got around to answering that.
Okay.
And then I know you got to go because you were asking about the percentage of white people and versus black, and you asked me how many black clients I have, and I would say I have less than 10. I think I got 250 something clients.
Wow.
90 million or something under management. And I got less than 10 black clients. So I'm gonna just remove my family then. So then I got less than 5, right? And there's just a different way that money is distributed, handed down, prepared, and there are a lot of things that we have many phobias about money around sharing private information like your social with people. I got a friend that I went to elementary school with, and she's mad cool. But the difference, and this ain't just about her. When I talk to black people, there's a difference between how they respond to questions or how we respond to questions and how white folks respond. White folks immediately understand that I'm asking information that's going to help them get to their destination on a roadmap. The majority of black people got to question every single question. Every single question. Why you got to ask this? Why are you asking that? Well, I want to do that. I don't want to do that. And they not even coming in with like a tenth of the money that the other people coming in with. So we got to change our perception when you look for help in this field. Be open, be honest, be transparent, so you can get that help that you seek out, right? And then follow through. And like I tell people most times, it's not even an investment right away. It might just be making sure you got 6 months of emergency savings. So should something happen where you lose your job, you still writing your checks, right? I want that
Mm-hmm.
for us, right? So I try to teach financial literacy, but it's just, you know, and it could be a knock on black people, but we just, and it's not all. It's definitely not all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about who I've been able to deal with. Like I purposely prospect online in certain areas that I think might have more minorities in them, but it's just a hard space to get in. I think we just don't take it as seriously enough as we should, and like we're not trusting like that, right? You're not really trusting, right? So we gotta take some of them walls down and
Right.
be willing to learn, So if we can do that, then we can start making some progress. Because there's no way I grew up in Richmond saying I'm gonna be a financial advisor. None of us. We all have hoop dreams, right? You asked me earlier, I didn't find out I wanted to do this job until I was sitting in the bank and somebody kept coming to me saying, I lost my debit card again. I hated them conversations. Then I looked over and I was like, man, like, what are they talking about? Like, what is it that I like about this industry? And I get to help people. People come to me for help, right? So, but we definitely wasn't growing up in Richmond talking about we finna be a financial advisor.
No.
I know that's right.
Right? So anyway, I just want to say to those people that's thinking about talking to somebody about your money, your financial plan, just be open, be honest. Just because you're having that conversation, you can always say no. You can walk out the office and not commit to anything. But if you go enlist somebody to give you a plan, create a plan for you, listen. And if they come asking for some follow-up material or some questions, give it to them. Like, we in the business to talk about money. How you gonna come into a place that's in the business to talk about money and don't want to talk about your money?
Because we're
Makes no
taught to,
sense.
we're raised that way. That's, I think, one of those generational, maybe I guess we could call them a generational. We're taught to don't tell your business, don't do that. So everything is like a secret. Like, I can't tell you I only got $10 in my bank account because it's just the way we were. We got to break that cycle where it is the trust. Where okay, you can trust someone. Don't ever get your social security number. Somebody they're gonna be. It's just things that we need to. Because I know some couples who don't talk finances with each other. Who like, I don't, or you gotta hide, you gotta have the extra bank account because you can't. Don't let what is that saying? Don't let the left hand know what the right hand doing, or
We
don't.
got too many sayings. That's the thing. We got too many sayings. We need to stop with the sayings. On that
That's the
note, if
thing.
y'all got a dip, it's all. You got too many sayings, right? It's hey, I need help. What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do to get there? If you tell
Just
me
that
this,
simple.
like, what do I gotta do? And then then ask follow up questions. Don't be. It's just, and then not get mad when I mention it to you. And it don't even have to be me. It could be other black professionals in my industry, right? So we all can tell you that story, right? Because we all want to help people who are trying to be on the come up, right? So my services are like for free. You can get that information for free. Now spending my valuable time that I could be using to earn some money, but like don't be messing around with my time, right? You see what I'm saying? So there's a difference between how they act and how we act. And we got to just stop with the saying. We going like this because we're looking for a saying instead of just being like, Devin, let me go ahead and get you that statement that you asked for. Not be sitting here, I ain't going to do it because I can't. What's that saying? The left hand, the right hand? No. What they do is, let me get right on. They get on their phone.
Yeah.
Put their glasses up like, let me see.
Like I'm about to get my information to you. What you say, Devin, you need it.
Straight up. That's what they do, man. So I would love to see us get to that point, man.
We're gonna be like, you need what number? What you
Get
need
on
my
that level.
Get on that level, man. Just get on that level, man. But anyway, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much to the people that commented. I appreciate the comments. Thank you for interacting with us. Thank you for supporting my cousin and Candy. You're such a lovely audience.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we definitely got to do a part 2. Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm gonna have a lot of
All right.
questions waiting this time.
She want a whole
Sure.
different topic. That's why.
Yeah.
No, no, no,
It's
no, no.
all
I'm gonna be.
good.
I was nice because I know we was on finance. I wanted to keep it, make sure we professional because we could be professional. We got questions. We read. We're intelligent women. It don't have to be all, fluff all the time. But yeah, good questions. I think it's just good information, right? Again, we all kind of touched on pretty much the same things, and we just as a people, we need to do better. It's just that
Mhm.
simple.
When you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
And that's
Supposed to.
all we trying to do. Well, that's what the goal is, right?
Didn't he just tell you don't find no more sayings? He just told you don't get no more sayings. You ain't listening. You ain't over there. That mimosa that kicked in.
It's
All right,
all
we'll
gone.
tap in.
All right.
That
All right.
explains
Thanks.
it. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Guys.
See you
All right.
later.
Later.
Till next time. All right, Kat. I'm gonna call you in the morning.
Okay, call you in the morning. Thank you, everyone, for
Okay.
joining. She said we
See
said
you
podcast.
later.
Good
She
night.
said we said podcast. See ya.
See ya.